And then raise up out of the crown of your head if you're seated, either on a chair. If you're on a chair, come to the edge of a chair, because the edge of the chair will give your spine a little bit um, more ability. You'll be on your sits bones a little bit more, unless your back doesn't allow that, and you might need a cushion behind you. So you're really looking to use your intuition to make yourself as comfortable as you can. And remember that you can do restorative yoga. You can do holding yoga or hatha yoga, where you hold postures and you really hold them strongly. You can do fitness yoga, where you add a little bit of weight, extra weight to the body, or you come to the highest level or the most difficult level of doing a posture. And you can do vinyasa yoga, which is the one I like the most, which is yoga with a flow. It's a flow or yoga or dance yoga. So you can choose this, and I will offer all of that so that you know what to do, but you can have to choose it through that intuition. So either closing your eyes or keeping them open. And this is also, it's all intuition. You know, I've worked with people who have been physically abused, and they can't not close their eyes. They're too afraid of what's coming in from the outside. They've got a trigger to close their eyes. So you open your eyes, you look down at the floor about 2 to 4 feet, and you stare. And your peripheral vision will take in all the rest. So your intuition, that's number one, you know. Do you want to keep your eyes open or eyes closed? I like to close my eyes to help me with the distractions of simply what's in the moment around in my room. And I can feel at a higher level, I can feel the sounds and the smells and the feeling of air on my skin, and how my body comes to the floor, the shape that my body makes, what part of the body touches the floor and what doesn't, where my hands are placed. So noticing all the details of this moment in your, as you settle in. Finding the breath, and first it's the comfortable, steady breath. So always listening to your body and what it says in the moment that you come to that place of bringing yourself back home to yourself. Listening to your subtle energy, and the subtleness of your energy can physically feel like a certain kind of vibration. And as we settle and go through the yoga process, that vibration will change. Your subtle energy also might give you an idea and say, oh yeah, you know, I'm having a little bit of indigestion. You're connecting with something within your physical body that's speaking to you. That could be, you know, purely physical, or come from a combination of physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, or relational. All of it will stimulate the body to respond. So connecting with that subtle energy from the toes to the crown of your head, out to the fingertips, and finding that breath. That sort of simple inhale, exhale. They call it the neutral breath, or the effortless breath, or the comfortable, steady breath. And we've been practicing the transition from that breath to the breath of inhale with the extended exhale, with the structure or no structure. Now, I need structure for the extended exhale when my limbic system has been aroused, when I get a fear or anger, something arouses the limbic system. So finding that breath as unstructured, but learning the structure. Inhale for 4, Exhale for 8. And that's the simple structure. You can go to 6 or inhale for 8, exhale for 16. The extended exhale stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system to calm the limbic system down. The fight, flight, freeze, and faint. Fight, flight, freeze, or faint. Each of us has a tendency for one of those limbic system responses. So that extended exhale, very important process. And see if you can feel the subtle change of your subtle energy. Now you can add Ujjayi breath to this. Some of you remember learning that many times. It's the one where you close the back of your throat like you're fogging up a mirror, but keep your mouth closed. It's the ocean sounding breath. And you can put the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and this will stimulate the meridian endings at the top of the roof of the mouth. And this is another way of calming, bringing all this calming energy to your body through the extended exhale. And then the challenge is to keep this extended exhale going while imagining you're breathing gratitude through the heart so that you light up the heart, the neurites of the heart, connecting with the neurons of the brain. So what gratitude did you breathe through the heart today? What do you want to fill your heart with right now? It can be an image, it can be words, it can be people, it can be places, it can be things, it can be animals. What is it? It can be an abstract vision. Filling the heart with gratitude. How does that change your subtle energy? How does just thinking of something grateful that you're grateful for, appreciate? Now there's those 4 words we've been studying: gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion, always starting with yourself. Finding gratitude, appreciation, joy, and compassion awakens us to joy. And you could say the joy of compassion, the joy of gratitude, the joy of appreciation, the joy of caring. And I've been listening to the Lions Roar Summit on compassion, and all aspects of compassion, from the science of compassion, and the art of compassion, and certainly the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu on compassion when they had all the interviews for the Book of Joy. An amazing summit. So I have a lot of gratitude right now for Lions Roar and the Buddhist community and what they're doing for the planet. And then bring your hands to your heart and your thumbs to the heart. And we go right to our electromagnetic energy. And you might feel it subtly at some times, and you might feel it more involved at other times. When you bring the image of the visible light, which is the rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and violet, Rory G. Biv. When you bring that to mind and light up your body with that, those are the standard 7 chakras spiraling out from the base of the spine to the top of the head. Then bring your thumbs to your third eye and connect with imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration that are all part of your pineal, of the centers, the control centers of your brain, the pineal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and hippocampus. When you really study those glands, which would be part of your self-study, you'll know that what we're doing here is we're expanding the use of them as control centers. Then tap the top of your head and remember that all of humanity is expanding their vibration. We're all expanding from the understanding of 3-dimensional seeing to 4th-dimensional seeing to 5th-dimensional seeing. And you might call that seeing as a body, mind, spirit able to see. So opening the arms up to some of the new understanding of chakras into the soul star chakra, the galactic chakra, and the universal chakra or the universe chakra, knowing that we are not alone in this universe. There are billions of planets, billions of galaxies out there. And so we are just at the beginning where humanity is opening to the understanding of that. And then bring the hands back to the heart and namaste so that you are honoring yourself, honoring that you're taking out this time to do this practice, honoring yourself that you're in this journey right now of uncovering your own level of being able to follow your gut feelings, follow your heart feelings, follow things that come to mind, and recognizing that they are your intuition and that your intuition is real and strong. And then release that and let go of whatever you've been using for props and shake out the legs. Again, today we're going to come right up to standing, and then at the end of the class we'll come down to seated. So we'll do a little warm up too when we get standing, but first to the hands and knees. So first to the hands and knees. And again, if you need something for your knees, just pull it right in. Now I picked a couple of these infinite love and gratitude cards. One is called Intuition. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what this gratitude card, infinite love and gratitude card, would say. So as we're coming to this movement practice of just moving the spine, now you could be seated on a chair doing this. And if any of you need that instruction on a chair, then please let me know, and I can always hop from the chair to the floor. But the instruction on the chair is to sit at the edge of the chair and just move your spine, head, and finding this way of moving the spine on the chair. All of the movements of the spine can be done on a chair, on the floor, standing, lying down. Then hold one direction and just feel the shape. Imagine concave and convex lenses and mirrors. So use it as a moment of time to look at light, to understand that you are light. You really are. We are sound and light. Everything is sound and light when you come down to it. It's all vibration. It's all vibrating at a certain frequency. And you can raise or lower your frequency. You're in charge of your frequency. And gratitude brings us to a higher frequency. That connection to heart-brain through the heart-brain coherence also brings us to a higher frequency. And today is a very important day. It's important astrologically, and it's also important with the full moon. And this is the card on intuition. No matter what path I choose, being courageous, following my heart, and trusting my intuition keeps me moving. Intuition nourishes my soul to sing. It's time for my awakening. That's a good one. We'll read that again a little bit later. Tuck the toes behind you. Oh, did you change directions? I got a little lost. Change directions. And you're just breathing and holding, feeling. Then tuck the toes behind you or put your hands on the base of a chair or table and bring yourself up. Heel walk the legs. Breathing. Checking it out for your body. And then finding your way up to supported squat, either hands on the knees, elbows on the knees, or hands on the floor, knees are bent, or straight legs for standing forward bend. And you're working whatever you're choosing, and this is very intuitive to know what is right for you. What does your body want to do right now? So I grabbed my block so that I could stand like straight legs just for a moment. But you know what? It feels really good to just put my elbows on my knees. And that's what you're doing. You're trying to decide moment to moment, what is it you're going to do? No matter what path I choose, being courageous, following my heart, and trusting my intuition keeps me moving. Intuition nourishes my soul to sing. It's time for my awakening. And then bend the knees up, arms come up and back into the heart. And then just a few warm-ups here. So let's just shake the body out. Those of you that came and might have danced, you may have gotten a little bit of warm-up then. It's a great warm-up. Plus there's more research on dance I just found. And I just found an amazing website that just totally burst my heart open on dance. So I encourage you to even try to wiggle a little bit. So then wiggle out a little further, move all of your joints, and breathe, find a way to, get those legs and, feet. And maybe you want to hold on to something like the top of a chair, the wall, or a table. You're just finding a little way to warm up. And then another warm up is the breath of joy. So in that heart of joy, in that understanding that gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion are all pathways to joy. Then we do breath of joy, and the breath of joy is 1, 2, 3, and a little bounce of the knee. 1, 2, 3, and go at your own pace. It can be very slow, and then you have the breath. Use that ha breath. Last time. And hook up. That hookup is the third finger in the belly button to the third finger to the third eye. And this is the hookup for the central meridian. So we're actually helping all of the meridians by hooking up here. It's very balancing. It's good for dizziness and nausea to do this. And then we'll do a little tapping today. So we'll start with tapping at the right below the collarbone. And this is for awakening all those meridians. And take a deep breath in and out. Then out to the lung point. And what we want to do and play with is, I love myself exactly as I am, not needing to change a thing. And then to the sternum, and this is for your immune system, where the thymus gland lies underneath there. And then spleen, pancreas, this is for metabolizing all of your food, your air, and your thoughts, down at about the first rib. Breathe into that. And then behind you to your kidneys, and this is really for that fight flight response, working a little bit with a stimulation of those kidneys, but also with a calming for the adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys. And then tapping down the legs, start with one leg. And this is for your lymphatic system, because it's so close to the skin, you can stimulate it this way. And you're also stimulating the vibration through your fascia, which is actually the quantum field inside your body. And around and everywhere you can tap down your arms. Breath and tapping. This is a healing art. This all comes from energy medicine. I've mentioned that a lot. Donna Eden, some of you have studied with her. And it's her work, energymedicine.com, easy to remember. Then up into the face, the neck, the head, the cheeks, the ears. In fact, when you get to the ears, pull them out. We're in and around this outer ear is another place for all the meridian endings. So you can just bring your fingers into and around that outer ear. Oh yeah, top of the head I didn't do. And then just stand and feel it. So when you get used to feeling subtle energy, you may be able to feel it more when you do this kind of practice, the tapping, and you feel the little shimmer of all, what I would call the nerve endings, which are the sensory perception endings of the nervous system that actually brings in that, even exasperates or increases your ability to feel the vibration inside your body. Then hands to the heart. We haven't done a lot of standing for a while, so here we go, the half sun salutation. And just take a moment to imagine all the people in the world doing the sun salutation, either the half sun salutation or the full sun salutation. Almost every yoga practice, just about every yoga practice, I know a few that don't use it, but almost every yoga practice teaches the sun salutation. We've done the half sun salutation mostly all summer. So here we go. Inhale the arms down and up in a little tiny back bend. Swan dive down, bend the knees, exhale. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down. Inhale the arms wide and up and back and to your heart. I'll turn to the side for those of you who need to see it from the side. Inhale down and up and back. Exhale down, bend the knees. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down. Inhale up and back and to your heart. Now you can always have your hands go onto a chair or a table. Inhale down and up and back. Little back bend. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Inhale, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down. Inhale the arms wide and up into your heart. One more time, in honor of the 4 directions, the 4 chambers of the heart, the 4 seasons. Inhale down and up and back. Exhale down, swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, inhale up and back into the heart. Then bringing yourselves to the dancing warrior, step the right foot back, left foot forward, and arms come up. So you don't have to, depending on how your shoulders are feeling and how, tired your body is, you can always have a chair. You can always do everything with a little support of the wall. Because we'll go from warrior 1 and straighten the front leg and come back. Sometimes you get it even better if you're into the stretching more than you're into, any other part of yoga. You might feel that the giving yourself support on a table, a chair, or a wall will be better. So warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And for this, I'm going to read this one. I chose authenticity, because authenticity and intuition go together. The authentic expression of my emotions creates the opportunity for me to find or stay on my true path. My feelings are not right or wrong. They are guiding me towards my authentic nature. So these cards have been so amazing, really. Infinite love and gratitude cards. Straighten the front leg. Now, gentle form is arms come behind you. You keep a flat back and just look up. And again, holding on to something really is a great thing. You can use this as a more vigorous form. Hands can be down on your leg. If you've got the flexibility, your hands can be on the floor, on blocks. You know, you use your equipment to help you. Then bend the knees and up. Virabhadrasana 2. Virtuous hero. Think of the word virtue and put that into this posture series. The dancing virtuous hero. So that I love that little, I don't know, I'm a dancer. So arms are out. If you can, the back arm is in line with the front arm, but if you can't, that back arm can always be on your waist, and it can always be down if the arm doesn't want to cooperate. So you're really playing with your own body and deciding each moment. Then inhale up, look at the sky, remember who you really are. You are the sky, everything else is the weather. Thank you, Pema Chodron, for that quote. Then lateral angle, look at whatever you're doing, including like, what is your path and are you staying on your true path? Look at it from the side. Look at it from the elbow, maybe. Look at it from the hand on the floor. Maybe you've got your hand on a chair, a block, a table, whatever. The vigorous levels of yoga really are how much your body will bend. And you don't have to bend very far. Then back up and up. And we use this posture a lot for a lot of different metaphors. Like, who you really are and what your past, maybe in the past you had things that really restricted you. And in the future, you can see yourself totally free from all those restrictions, totally reimagined your own self. And then to the center, and you're in warrior goddess. Fingers are wide, shoulders are open. Now, again, if this isn't good for your shoulders, it's definitely until those, if you have, limited range of motion or whatever's happening there, then you might want to just bend the elbows. So you choose. The knees are bent here to give you some, the little umph of like, I am strong and grounded. I'm open-hearted, but I am powerful. And then turn these into little claws. So we're going to go inhale and stick out your tongue for the lion's roar or the lion's breath. It goes, stick out your tongue and go, ha, 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 ha. And then before going to the other side, we're going to shake out. And because we're getting close to Halloween, we're going to practice this with the cackle of the archetype of the witch. Now that cackle is an interesting one because it's what part of yourself is bringing out that kind of thing, and what does that feel like, and what does it mean? Now I see witches as just the magical creatures we are inside, that vision, that archetype, and also those of us that make tinctures and salves, and so we make kind of potions, and I do that, and sometimes I'm mixing them in a hot pot to make that. So there's a lot of us on this call that I know have done this before. So we're going to go, and we're going to go try to cackle, but you can just laugh. And then again. And back to 5-pointed star. Send that witch's brew out there into the world because it's magic for the world. Then turn the right foot out and the left foot in, and you're right into Virabhadrasana 1, or the virtuous hero 1. And I want to honor all the women that have been persecuted because they had that kind of magical place within them that they brought forward, and that was part of their true nature. And I think it's part of all women's true nature. We were there were the hunters and the gatherers, and we were the gatherers during the evolution of humanity. And so just noticing, occasionally the women were the hunters in some cultures, but usually it was divided into those two genders. So Virabhadrasana 1, I am here. I know my truth. I feel the energy within my body. And I know what my next step is. Straighten the front leg, arms behind you, and look up. Gentle, moderate, hands on the knee, hands above the knee or below the knee, and hands on the floor for vigorous. And then chair, table, wall, for those of you who feel that's the best way to go. And it's really listening to the intuition to decide, what do you want to use for props? Finding the breath, and then bend the knee and up. Virabhadrasana 1, the virtuous hero. The virtuous hero, the second form of it is look. Past, present, and future all happening at the same time. Once you study the quantum, then the best understanding of this that we have now, you can Google it, and understand how and why that is presented, like all of them happening simultaneously. Then look up, remember who you are, then look down to the side, look at and get a new perspective. And maybe you want to go down further, maybe you want to go down further. You're deciding which one's best for you. And then back up and back up. And again, and 5-pointed star. This next piece, some of you may want the chair, you may want a block, you may want a cushion. We've done this before, but it's to get the new perspective underneath and upside down. So getting a new perspective on yourself, on your journey with intuition. What's it telling you? What is your work in the world right now? You can, why is it important that you do this particular work? You're called somehow from that place of your intuitive self. You're called to do that work. So look upside down and just see how that works. Then decide if you want to play here a little bit with spinal twist, left hand down, right arm up or behind your back. And you turn the body to the side and you're doing a spinal twist. Then again, you can bring yourself up higher, bring yourself onto a base of a chair or a table. You can still do this, or a standing spinal twist, or you can sit on the edge of a chair and do a spinal twist. Actually, you sit back in the chair and do a spinal twist. Really twist that spine. And then down on that side, up on the other side. And again, you can put your hand behind your back. Notice what you're feeling in the body. As you recognize the details of the physical feelings of muscles, tendons, ligaments in the body as you do these practices, notice the breath and how it stretches you. And just recognize that those are training. That's training for your intuition in other ways, to be aware of the subtle energies within the body. And then down on that side, bring your feet together. And you're back, to ragdoll, and then bend the knees and come up. Bring your arms all the way up. Toe balance. Toe balance. Notice how the feet react. And remember, you have the ball of the foot. You don't have to be on tiptoes. Be where your body will. You might just lift the heel a little bit. And then you may hold on to something instead of going up without holding on. Then ride the wave, remembering that we are the ocean, just like the sky and everything else is the weather. We're the ocean, everything else is the waves. And then hands to the heart. Now we've been practicing this spinal twist, but if you just want to hang here, this is the awkward pose or the chair pose. You can have your arms above your head, arms out, arms at the heart. And you can just stay there. You can tip the toes up as well. So just lift the heels like you would in toe balance. And it's going to be a strengthener for the quads. So that's the fitness level here. The fitness level gets even deeper as you go bend the knees deeper. But we've been practicing the spinal twist here. So take the left elbow and just look to the side. That's the gentlest. You just kind of twist to the side. If you have if your body does this, and you can be up higher too, or do another spinal twist. You can bring the elbow down on the knee. You can bring the hand down on the floor and the right arm up. So each one of these, if you use the arms from elbow to elbow as a triangle with the torso, you have some stability there with the elbow on the knee. You lose that stability as soon as you put your hand down on the floor, but you make a different kind of stability. And if you needed to, you could put your hand on a block if you wanted to. Again, you can do this standing, halfway down or all the way down. Your hands end up, if you can, they're in front of your face. And then come up. And then down, other side. Then the right elbow, and you're just going to look to the side. That's gentle, moderate, elbow on the knee, vigorous, hand on the floor or hand on a block. Breath. And take a couple breaths there. Your arm can also always go behind you. We've always, that's sort of an option in a lot of these twisted postures. And then come up. This time all the way up into toe balance, if you're still with me. And then down. Shake it all out. Inhale up. Deep breath in. Exhale to the heart. Inhale up. And exhale to the heart. Then to get the spine moving side to side, lift that left arm up, reach it up, and as though you could reach down into the left side. Here, let me come a little closer. Down into the left side. It's almost like that left leg goes into the earth. Hand can be on the waist. Hand can be left down by your side. So gentle, support yourself. Moderate, a little less support. You have a little weight there with that arm down. Vigorous, arms up. Lace the fingers and you're there. Now pull in at the abdominals and pull up from the pelvic floor and you'll feel some support there. And then from there over to the other side. Again, you can start out, hand on the waist, reach up from the right arm, down into that right foot so that you're changing sides. Then you can decide you want weight there, want to feel that weight. Putting the hands up gives you a little bit more weight that goes over to that side. And again, each of these decisions is your intuition speaking. Now you'll know you've gone too far if you ache tomorrow, if you've gone too far and it's been not right for you. But also don't be afraid, have the courage to make the delineation by trying one, trying another one and going, oh, no, I'm going to put my hand on my waist. I'm going to put my hand down. Oh, I think I'm going to try that one. Oh, no, I better put my hand down. It's like you're deciding in every moment. And that's why yoga is such an intuitive practice or intuition building. And then up and down. Shake it out. Now we get to come down to the floor. So coming down to the floor, have a block or a cushion ready if you want to use them. Drop the chin to your chest, roll down the spine. Come back into downward dog. Again, you can be hands on a chair, and then you'd come down to your knees from the chair. Straighten out those legs, feel the stretch behind the knee, someplace that gets really tight for all of us. Then down to the knees and back into child. So I know some of you have requested child a lot, and I'm going to show you the two options here for gentle. So for some of us, coming all the way back, bent into child with our head on the floor is not possible. So it's easy if you have a block or another cushion of some size to put your head just at the right place that you need to. Some of us need a cushion behind the knees. So I've shown you these many times, but I'll keep showing you them so you can get those equipment if you need it. And like me, I need this under my knees. So that's child. But puppy stretch is very similar to child. It just comes out on the elbow and you keep the buttocks in the air. And again, you may want a block for the head or a cushion, something that would be easy. And it's a nice curve of the spine. It's really a nice feeling on my lower back. So you've got the choice, child, which is a little bit more severe of a fold, a full fold with the weight of the body on the knees. So not everybody can do that. And you might want to just come up and it takes the pressure off of those knees. It takes the pressure and puts it in a different way. Now, those of you who can do puppy stretch without the block, you put your forehead on the floor or you put your chin on the floor, which I can't do. I could probably put my chin on the block though, but you have to watch your neck. So you have to always experiment. The self-study of yoga also goes into particular postures that you might want to look up and see all the different options online. You can just about Google any posture like puppy stretch and you'll get all of the options. And then bring yourself back to hands and knees. And decide if you want to come back into child again or just up into upward dog, and decide if this is right for you. Now, if this isn't right for you to play with child to upward dog, you can hold one or the other of them, or you can just go onto your back, which is where we'll come next. I just like the feeling of a little deeper back bend. And then I'm going to pause for a moment to feel it. And then back to hands and knees and swing yourself around. Again, I'm going to offer you something that would use a block or a cushion. If you want, you don't have to. Pull the knees in. Take a couple of breaths and just feel your subtle energy. You know, it's one of the things that in order to expand our intuition is to feel the energy when it's a gut feeling, to be able to feel this little tiny, it's interesting feeling that gut feeling. Sometimes it can create this, certainly we know fear. We know when fear happens and we can feel that. And most people go to their gut and they put their hand on their gut when you ask about fear. But how about maybe you'll feel fear to live your truth and your intuition is coming forward, but you're going to feel a little fear of like not following it or the fear of following it. And that will come out as a gut feeling. Then bring the feet to the floor and press off from the feet. This is the cerebral spinal fluid balancer. And it doesn't take much from the feet. You're not really pushing too hard. You're just rocking, nothing. The rest of the body doesn't have to do anything. But you should be able to feel your sacrum to the center of the skull, the back of the head, which the center of the skull is right between your ears, where the skull sits on the first cervical. By connecting these 2 points and rocking with the feet, we're actually gently pulsing that spine and the cerebral spinal fluid around the central spine, around the central, actually not inside the vertebra, but I mean, not outside the vertebra, inside the vertebra, around the nervous system, circulatory system, lymphatic system, nervous system. Oh, I said that already. And then slow down and then pause. Now from here, you can either come into your own postures. You can do some core strengthening if you want. You can go into Shavasana, or you can follow me. And I'm going to take a block and put my legs up. And you can do this with a cushion or a block underneath your sacrum, or you can put your legs up the wall. Some people like to use a folded up blanket for this. And again, you can also go into any other one of the postures that we've studied that is part of this. As we find our closing. This is called the supported shoulder stand. And so if you have more vigor within you and more strength and resilience in the body in this moment, in this particular posture, you can lift yourself off the floor and use your hands to hold up your pelvis instead of a block. And if you love the feeling of up the wall, then use the wall. And if you love the feeling of bending the knees and putting them over a chair, that's another way of just giving the legs a different experience than having the weight of the body on the legs or just in sleep or however you might experience the legs. Rarely do we experience them upside down. The upside down is the part of the brain that is integrating. It stimulates the brain for integration. And so integrating what we've done today and what we're doing, starting last week and doing this week. And I'll read the intuition again. No matter what path I choose, being courageous, following my heart, and trusting my intuition keeps me moving. Intuition nourishes my soul to sing. It's time for my awakening. And that awakening can come in little aha moments or inspirations or something that becomes super clear, like amazing clarity. It can come in a dream or a lucid dream or a sleeping dream. It can come in a shamanic journey. All of those will awaken, be sources of possible awakening to a higher level, a higher vibration, an understanding that you didn't have before. But in order to succeed, I must imagine myself as someone who's already overcome a challenge. And this is the imagination card. I picture a successful resolution in my mind and then observe its appearance in my life. So is there something that is challenging you really majorly in your life that you need to look at in a different way, that you need to use their highest level of consciousness, your highest abilities, your ability to imagine something that you haven't imagined before, and use your authenticity and your intuition to find this new path. And so if you have a question you need answering, then place it in your consciousness now to imagine the solution to that question. And then you can leave your legs up there, and we can close there, or bring yourself down, take a moment in supported bridge. Then take yourself even further down, come into either constructive rest or lengthen out into Shavasana. Constructive rest is feet wider than the knees. Sometimes can be a lot even better for the lower back if you don't have a bolster or cushion to put under your knees, to lift the knees a little bit, to let that lower back relax. This constructive rest does that. Then go back to the breath, extended exhale. Or just the comfortable, steady breath. You decide. This is your own personal intuitive closing for this session. Let your face relax, relax your eyes and your cheeks and your jaw. Just notice if you can feel the relaxation in the face as the head is supported. Relax everything from the toes to the crown of the head, to the fingertips, down through into relaxing the chest, relax the spine. Feel gravity. Feel yourself merge with the earth, merge with the force of gravity, resonate with the electromagnetic sensory perception of knowing that you are an electromagnetic being. You are light and sound. You're a vibration. Can you feel your vibration? And then relax into the mystery of living and dying, the mystery of our moments unfolding, the mystery of the two nuclear forces working upon us. Now, what does that really mean? We don't know yet. The mystery of us as physics and physics as us, as mathematics being the language of physics. The mystery of these different vibrational energies that are raising our vibration to be able to see from third dimensional seeing to fourth dimensional seeing to fifth dimensional seeing, knowing that there are many other levels of seeing to be uncovered for us as we evolve as humans. And just see if any images come to mind, or go back to gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion as pathways to joy, not just to happiness. And notice the vibration of happiness, then notice the vibration of joy. Notice the vibration of words. And bring the hands to the heart and namaste again, and honor again that you've taken out this time in your day to do this practice. And that you're also honoring your journey to this understanding of the new human, to your part in creating the new earth. May I have peace, and may what I do here go out onto the world and make more peace. And then as a collective, may we have peace, and may we together in our energetic imprint go out onto the world and make more peace. Release that down and just take a moment and decide whether you just need to stay here. Again, an intuitive, honest, authentic decision. What do you need to do in this moment? How do you authentically, intuitively also get up, being gentle with yourself? So you might, if you want to join me, I always roll over to my side and take a moment with gravity, pulling my body in a different direction. Then I press up into my hands into mermaid position, and I let my body settle into that position, and just see if these are at all right for you. And then finding your way up in the best way for you,